maybe it was like the Linux community, okay? Like I'm a Linux guy, but ain't no fucking way I'm gonna ever get into the delusion that companies are gonna throw money at us because we are so small. But now that's 40 to 50%. That's crazy. PC has jumped up to like half. And I believe that's going to go because people have PCs. They have outboard controllers. And they work as great game machines. So he's pretty much saying, yeah, PC is pretty much there. Now, I read this and I think, why the fuck aren't you dropping the game on PC? Probably wasn't their plan. But I think hearing that from the CEO, shit, he might drop this game maybe in less than a year. I don't know. Maybe by the end of the year or the beginning of next year, Rockstar might be a bit quicker and release that PC version, okay? But this is where it gets really disgusting, and I actually have a lot of disdain for what he's saying.
He fought me. He's a weirdo.
So he says number 2, with streaming. Now remember, this is game streaming, okay? So you remember, like, all that Google Stadia shit, the Amazon Luna? Oh, man, it's easy. I'll just get, like, a really small, thin client, like my phone. And then I'll just connect to the Xbox network and stream games here. Maybe I'll attach a little controller and just kind of play it like a fucking N-Gage. But yeah, that's obviously game streaming is not really all that great, okay? Honestly, as an option, I'm not somebody that is against it, okay? Like if you're somebody that, shit, do I really want to download a 200 gigabyte fucking Call of Duty game or maybe just stream the campaign? I would totally be okay if you decided, yeah, I'll load up the game stream version and just play through. It's not going to be great. There's going to be some input lag. But at the end of the day, like, hey, it's better than downloading 200 gigs for a game that probably lasts less than like 3 hours. Anyways, so he believes it's around the corner in terms of having something that's low latency. So meaning that latency that we just talked about, I guess that wouldn't exist. I don't understand how that would work from like a physics standpoint.
What?
But Strasvelnik, I guess, really is on the hopium, okay? Machines that weren't game machines before will become game machines. So everything is a fucking game. Your toaster, as long as it can stream video and connect to a controller via Bluetooth, shit, you can play GTA 6 on that through the cloud. So without regards to what happens in the console business, which is a consequence to us, of course, we see the overall base as a practical matter growing materially. And if you believe in streaming, and to be clear, we really do, and I'm happy to put a timeline on it, I think we'll be commercial mode within 3 years. And by commercial, he means that low latency streaming crap. I mean that we can 10x the effective installed base. Man, the last time I heard 10x is like from the crypto bros. You know, why are you investing money into property and stuff? Why don't you buy NFTs? It's gonna 10x. Yeah, let's see your portfolio today, pal. Let's see let's see how 10x we're doing now, aren't we? Anyways, now it doesn't mean that we're 10x our revenue, and we wouldn't project that we would. But because obviously your avid consumers already have access to video game machines. So one thing that I find really disgusting about this statement is the entire gaming industry has already basically said, we don't really give a shit about you owning physical content anymore, okay?
Okay,
like, physical media is not something that game companies are actually okay with. And they're not, because obviously if you look at things like the PlayStation, if you look at things like the Xbox, if you look at, just any system in general, I mean, how much physical media really exists anymore, right? Like, PlayStation is kind of out. Nintendo Switch games that you buy, for the most part, are kind of still game key cards. Like, you might get kind of lucky with, like, an Indiana Jones release, or something officially Nintendo or Cyberpunk, where the whole thing is on a cart. With Xbox, I mean, their actual games don't even show up on the fucking disc. So at the end of the day, right, like, that kind of fight has been lost. At this point, the digital stuff that we download, that's really the last fight, to fight against, predatory DRM, to fucking actually, own the licenses we purchase. So companies can't just yoink that away from us. The issue with cloud streaming, obviously, as you can imagine, is you don't even have the digital download, man. Like, what the fuck? So when he talks about low latency shit, remember, he's talking about stuff like NVIDIA's GeForce Now, which is the ability for somebody to connect their Steam accounts, Epic accounts, whatever accounts to NVIDIA service, and for a monthly fee, you can rent your gaming computer, okay? Can't afford a gaming computer? Oh, you can just fucking rent it. We live in the day and age where data centers have basically priced the fuck out of the average person out. Look, I'm not somebody that wants to, like, go into the super conspiracy theories, But I'm against data centers, not because of the, there's a lot of misinformation surrounding them. But if it's one concrete thing you have to be against data centers for, is the ability for them to do massive mass surveillance. Obviously, we talked a lot about the flock cameras, in the last few weeks. These are cameras that exist all around the country, basically taking a photo of your vehicle, seeing where you go from point A to point B, and using artificial intelligence, they can obviously pinpoint exactly where the fuck you go at any given point. Now, obviously, a lot of these, intelligences that the government or any of these organizations use obviously require data centers to operate. I think that when we give up our communities so that these data centers can come in, basically really not provide much opportunities and jobs to us, and now all of a sudden mass surveillance is going up, all the extra bullshit that we don't care about is going up, simply because a few people in the world want to get